may not have seen on my socials that recently I took a trip to Amsterdam.
We're on the canal looking at the beautiful buildings. Mummy's had a little cry.
Whilst I did vaguely attempt to film some little pieces from that trip, there was not really enough to create a good video, so I thought what I would do is I would break down for you what I packed for just 4 days and kept like just a very simple carry-on. I did not take a lot of stuff. How I create multiple outfits from a small amount of clothing. This is basically a 15-piece capsule wardrobe. It's probably a 20-piece capsule wardrobe if you count accessories and pajamas and things, but mostly this is 13 pieces.
Roughly this time last year, I went to Prague and Budapest, and I did the exact same thing, and I came up with a system which I think has changed holidays and weekends away for me forever. Like, I think I can always get all my clothes into one tiny like carry-on bag. I think I've really hacked the system. This is basically a capsule wardrobe video in a nutshell, but specifically for flying, specifically to be able to fit all your clothes in a carry-on, and basically my system for doing that, making sure you honor your style routes, making sure that the clothes are practical for where you're going and the weather. And what I'll do is I'll show you my process for me going to Amsterdam right now.
It's very much a winter-based capsule wardrobe. Before I get any comments like, that is not warm enough for minus 40 degrees, I'm from Europe. I'm not from Canada or from like Northern Europe or anything like that. I get comments like this all of the time. So just like a city break kind of winter. If that's not what you're looking for, then I would skip this video.
So basically, step one is to choose a color palette. This sounds simple enough. Like, I will usually start with one kind of core base color. When I went to Greece, I'm fairly sure that that color was blue. This time I'm choosing it as tan. I really want to do like tan and cream. That way you're already not so overwhelmed looking at your entire wardrobe of clothes and thinking, what on earth am I going to take? Because you already have an idea of how to simplify what you're taking. The next step is to make sure you have a good variation of trousers and tops. Having one pair of jeans but 4 pairs of tops is kind of going to feel like the same outfit again and again, but making sure you have variations on the bottom specifically, I think creates the feel of a whole new outfit.
So let's break down all the different items that I took. I took 2 pieces of outerwear with me to Amsterdam. As you can see, they serve 2 very different functions. So this is a long coat. This is a beautiful, gorgeous coat. I got this from Jaeger a few years ago because I really wanted a sort of camely tan coat that would go with everything, and it does. And this is a leather jacket. Most of the things in this capsule wardrobe are basics. They're very, very easy to mix and match. So a leather jacket, I wanted something slightly edgy because Amsterdam is quite a cool city. Like, if I was going to Paris or something, I probably would not have picked this jacket, but I wanted something slightly more edgy because I think it's quite fun to lean into whatever city you're going to. So those are my 2 jackets, and one's long, one's short. They're both different colours, so depending on the occasion, they both serve 2 very different functions. This jumper here was essentially the central piece around which I built this entire capsule. I was about to say collection, like I'm a designer, around this entire capsule wardrobe. I love this. As you can see, I'm wearing this jumper today in a different colour. I have a few of these from And Other Stories, and they've got me through the whole winter. I didn't really have any knitwear that I liked. I realised I had lots of very, very cheap jumpers that weren't really my style and didn't really fit me very well and were very poor quality. It was something that I'd never invested in. So I invested in a few quite nice pieces this year, and it was the best decision I've made. Just a few bits of knitwear in neutrals. Anyway, this is my favourite one. This is my favourite colour. Of the knitwears. It's the colour I base my entire wardrobe off of, this lovely cream. Just as a little colour analysis moment, I'm not really in the light, but you can see that in contrast with the black, that really brings out my features because it's light, so it makes a big difference. So I was like, I know that I love wearing that and I would wear that 4 days in a row very happily, so I basically based the entire wardrobe around that. And if you don't know where to start, that can be quite a good place to start. Something that's weather appropriate, that you really, really love, and then building around that.
I think a lot of people get in a panic of, oh, what if I get there and I don't want to wear these things, and then they provide like 5 alternatives. And I think the thing with that is you have to have a good wardrobe to begin with, and I think that's what obviously following my channel will help with, helping you have clothes in your wardrobe you actually like. You shouldn't really have anything in your wardrobe where you pull it out and you're like, I actually might hate wearing this. And if you're like packing for impractical weather, then that's no good either. Obviously you do need some variation, like I said, like with the jumper and a top, but really you should know what the weather is going to be roughly, and pack for that accordingly. I packed this cardigan, I wore this on the plane. Again, cream. This is from Uniqlo. Gorgeous tortoiseshell buttons. And I thought that would just slip very nicely in. So to the jeans. The first pair of jeans that I took was a white pair. Some people are really weird about wearing white in winter, but I think that white is a really winter colour. I guess it's because white isn't inherently very warm, but they did me absolutely fine. I love monochrome cream and white looks. I don't know if you've heard of the Vanilla Girl aesthetic, but I love that entire thing. So I paired those two together. And then I wanted to take an alternate denim, so an alternate pair of jeans. I used to say I don't really like jeans, but as I've got older, I've realised, especially by using Open Wardrobe, which is this app that I use to record all of my like outfits and stuff. They did sponsor me once. I'm hoping to work with them again because I really love them. Yeah, I realised that most of what I wear is jeans because you can track what you wear every day. And I wear a lot of trousers, so learning that about myself has been very, very helpful. So I took an alternate pair of denim. These are my Levi 501s. I got them quite recently. They're slowly breaking into a nice fit, but they look so good on the butt. You'll probably see that when I try on some outfits. I wasn't really planning on these jeans, but I did realise once I'd packed that I needed a plain outfit, so I wore these on the plane. These are my most comfortable pair of jeans. They're the oldest pair of jeans in my wardrobe. They're the sexiest pair of jeans in my wardrobe. They're burst cut and they're boot cut. They weren't this colour when I bought them. They were a much, much darker denim, but I really love this colour denim, so they wore down to exactly how I would have wanted them. They are my best favourite, sexiest jeans. And they're very, very comfortable. Like, they've got a certain amount of elastic in, so they were great for wearing on the plane. So this is the first outfit of the trip. This is what I went on the plane in. My comfiest jeans, which basically feel like leggings. I wanted something that I could wear in the evening, but I didn't want to take a dress because I know that that's very hard to mix with the other stuff that I've got here, and I wanted quite a limited wardrobe. So I took a skirt because obviously that's a very easy way to make things more formal. This is from Zara. It's kind of like a tweed skirt, so it's quite warm, quite good for winter, and I just wore that with fleece lined tights and then black tights over the top. This is an essential for me. This was gifted. I've got 2 of them. I've worn them so like at least 3 times a week this winter. They're Uniqlo's thermals. I did not know that something so thin could be so warm. It's blown my mind. I did not know that this technology existed. So Uniqlo sent me these and I'm extraordinarily grateful. So yeah, I just wore this underneath basically everything that I wore, just for that extra layer of warmth. This is the least practical thing that I took. This is a little leopard print top. This is not just the oldest thing in this capsule wardrobe, but maybe the oldest thing in my wardrobe. I actually don't know when I bought this. It was very much something that I bought as a teenager. It's from New Look. I've got a clip of my mum saying how worn it looks, but it doesn't really look that old when I've got it on. It kind of just works. This is one of my basics that has just lasted, and I've just worn it again and again and again. I always find something every year that this goes with. I would say I've had this probably since, I want to say 13 or 14, but I love it because the print, I don't know if this is deliberate, but the print is like really small here and then it gets bigger and then it gets small again, and it makes you look like you have massive boobs. But I just thought that this tied together all the different colours that I've got going on. Like, it's got a bit of cream in there, it's got that tan, it's got a bit of black, so I thought it would go with most of the things that I've got here as like a fun little statement piece, and I was right. Colour sandwiches and sandwiches in general are the absolute root of a good outfit. Add as many sandwiches in as possible. Like, sandwiches can excuse a lot of sins. A lot of people don't like silver and gold together, for example. But as long as you're sandwiching it and you haven't just got like a gold necklace and silver earrings, which is obviously a mismatch, if you've then got something with silver and gold in, like I have a watch which is silver and gold, it always ties it together and it gives you that little bit of freedom because you're creating sandwiches. Similarly, navy and black. I'm very much not a fan of navy and black unless it looks very intentional. It has to look very on purpose. If you're wearing a navy jumper with black jeans, it tends to just look off. The colours are so similar and yet so different. Black tends to kill a lot of colour, and navy is one of those that black really, really kills. So it has to be very intentional, and I think if it's a brighter navy, a brighter blue, it already looks more intentional, and then you thread that in with a navy somewhere else, like maybe on a bracelet, or it's got to kind of sandwich it. So if you've got like a navy top and like a navy headband but black jeans and black shoes, it's gonna look a bit of a mess. But if you've got like a black top, navy jeans, black boots, already looks more put together and more intentional, more like you actually meant for that navy to be there, and not like you didn't know the difference between navy and black. So colour sandwiches. So I've tried to thread a bit of black through. This leopard print top already has a lot of black in it, so that's one sandwich already underway. But if I just added the black boots, there's no black in this bag. Did anyone else see that hit me in the head? There's no black in this bag, so it was already going to look, it was going to look slightly off. So I've added a black belt for if I want to wear the black ankle boots. So onto the extra bits and pieces. I think I've done all the core pieces now. So I took 2 pairs of shoes. First was these tan boots. They're from Jones the Bootmaker. I'd wanted a pair of tan boots for a very, very long time before I bought these, but I could never afford them because a good pair of tan leather boots, over £100 I would say these days, and I had a budget of like £80 for a pair of good tan boots, and I wanted the right pair, if you know what I mean. Like I didn't want a pair that was too high that I couldn't walk in. Anyway, these are my tan boots and they serve me very, very well. I want to get some things for boots, you know, where you put them in and they keep them stiff, but they've got a decent enough heel and they were extremely comfortable. I would highly recommend them. And then I got an alternative to that, which is these black boots. These are Geox. I would say these are more comfortable than a lot of trainers that I've owned, and they're just black leather boots. I walked 16,000 steps in these and I didn't feel it. Didn't feel it at all. It's the first time I've ever done that. The best comfortable ankle black boots that I've ever had. Like one of the most comfortable pair of shoes I've ever had. But the reason I got these, so it's like a different length, so it can go with different variety of stuff that I've got here. It's also a different colour, so it can go with that black leather jacket. Another way that I've pulled the black through the outfits, I basically have 2 versions. The outfits that are based around this coat and then the outfits that are based around this leather jacket. So I knew that for the outfits where I was going to wear the leather jacket, that I'd need something to pull a bit of black through between the jacket and the boots. So I took this Brandy Melville belt. It's not leather or anything, but I quite like the studs in it. It was a bit of a trend when I bought it, and so I was a bit nervous, but I actually think it's quite classic, and I think it actually has lasted the test of time quite well. And lastly, I took 1 bag for the entire trip. I got this recently on eBay. It's a Coach bag. It looks nothing like I thought it was going to, but it's quickly become my favourite bag. It's quite delicate. It's quite delicate. And it doesn't look overpowering, but it's actually quite big, and you can carry quite a lot of stuff in it. So this was an amazing choice.
Is that all you're taking?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh golly.
Okay, I already know that these 3 together is a good outfit.
Yeah.
Because I've worn that.
We're going to look the same.
That's fine, that's normal.
Okay.
But look, 1, 2, 3 outfits.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 outfits.
Yeah.
So 6, that's more days than we're going.
And a very cool hat that I might borrow.
Yeah.
Are you going to take your white scarf and I'll take your black scarf?
Yes.
Is that okay? Then
Yeah.
we can swap them if necessary.
Let me-
Okay, so you're taking that, I'll take the black scarf, that's fine. I think it looks fantastic. This is gorgeous. And what tights are you wearing?
Sheer. Fleece line plus sheer.
Okay.
This actually isn't what I wore on the plane home, but it totally should have been. I got the black boots on, don't know if you can see that. It's right in the corner. I think the leopard goes just so nicely with this entire thing. And then I'd have just taken the scarf, swoosh. And I think that leopard works really well in this outfit as well. So that's a plain home outfit that I should have worn. What I actually worn was much less cohesive than this. This was the outfit I wore to dinner on the first night. Is it particularly like sexy dinner outfit? No, not necessarily. I did have a little bit of the midriff arm, which was a little bit scary considering it was freezing. But you just button that up when you're on your way, and then when you're in the restaurant it doesn't really matter, does it? But over the top of that, I did wear my coat. That does look so much better than the cardigan. But when you're on a budget, I think some things can slide a little bit. Not like a financial budget, but when you're on limited clothes, it's okay if not every bit of your outfit is perfect. As long as you've got the overall vibe of put together and planned, then I think it's gonna be fine. And then that's just what it looks like with the bag. I've got the little black shoes on my feet to sandwich the black in the top there. I guess you could put the belt with this outfit, but I feel like that's just too much going on. So I've kept it quite simple. Especially as you've got a pattern on the bag as well. I wouldn't usually, just as a classic, I wouldn't usually do a bag pattern and a top pattern, but I don't think it's like that crazy. So that's the first outfit I wore to dinner. Is that a beret? Would you call it a beret? And I wore this outfit with the leather jacket and the little black boots. Now, would I usually have paired a tan bag with an outfit that has no tan in it anywhere else? Probably not, but I actually quite liked it as a statement. I quite like when you have restrictions like this because it forces you to think outside the box and you come up with things that you probably normally wouldn't when you're like so able to stick to your normal rules and principles and what you usually do. So restrictions can be really good for creativity. So that was my first outfit, just wandering around the city. Okay, this is the outfit I wore on the second day. I know for a fact that some of you are gonna hate this because I feel like some of you really hate this like boots over the top of jeans thing. I feel like it gives jodhpurs vibes, which I kind of love. I feel like a lot of Americans particularly hate this look because it gives English country girl vibes, but being an English country girl, I'm kind of thriving, so I kind of love it. I love this outfit. It was super, super comfortable, very, very warm. It's just the Levi's with the cream jumper, Jaeger coat on top, coast bag, and then the little earrings, which are so cute. I got these from the V&A, from the Victoria and Albert Museum shop. They're not like a designer or anything. I just love them though. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to film the rest of this video tomorrow because I am losing the light rapidly. So I will see you tomorrow. Welcome to day 2 of me trying on all of these clothes. Given my hair a blow dry, but I've not styled it or anything, so this is just my hair very boringly straight, but this is how I wore it for several years, so I feel like I'm 16 with hair like this. I'm just gonna show you the boots. This is the first dinner skirt outfit. Obviously this is one of the milder looks, so you know, you can easily make it more warm with a scarf if you wanted to. Goes very nicely with the cream. I actually love this outfit. I also wanted to show you this because this is the first combo with the leather jacket and the tan boots. So as you can see, those do work together when you've got the tan bag to tie the two together. I definitely think the leather jacket with the skirt is quite flirty, quite evening-y. I love this outfit. I'm very tempted to find somewhere else to wear this because I feel really confident in this. It feels very me. I also quite like the proportions of the jacket and the skirt. And it's quite a short skirt, short jacket. I just think those proportions work quite well together. I feel like you guys are probably getting a bit bored of seeing this coat and these boots together at this point, but I still kind of love it. So obviously you've got the monochrome of the jumper and the skirt, coat and the boots. You could obviously do this with the leather jacket as well. That is the joy of a capsule wardrobe, that you can basically swap out any of the pieces and it will still work, and that's what you really, really want to create. I'm just going to show you that without the coat, as theoretically this would be an evening look, although this would totally still work in the day. Depends where you're going really, like obviously this one you couldn't go if you like going dancing or something. This is definitely more of like a dinner look. I love this look so much. I can remember the first time I ever wore this jumper and this skirt and these boots, I think, together. I wore it without tights. It was kind of autumn and I wore it exactly like this, and it was one of the most me outfits I'd ever worn. I'd never felt so like I'd achieved my style as when I put all these things together. I also think as well, like not everything that you wear when you go on holiday has to be new. Like pretty much everything I'm wearing in this particular outfit is this year actually. Several of the things I have here are 2 years old, 3 years old, or like I've said, like nearly 10 years old. So, and I think that's fine too. I think you should have things in your wardrobe that you really, really love, and you should take those on holiday. Like you don't just have to buy new things because you're going abroad. You can celebrate the pieces that you love and that make you feel confident, as well as buying new things that make you feel confident. I really want to try one more outfit with the skirt. I definitely think that could work. Obviously this is less wintry because I've got that midriff, I'm wearing a skirt, it's all quite chilly. The major limitation of this particular capsule wardrobe is that this cardigan doesn't go with this skirt. They're just slightly different brightnesses, intensities of cream, and so when they're straight on top of each other, I talk about this in my patterns video I think, when they're on top of each other there's this kind of lack of harmony because they don't like go together, so I hate those two together. That is a no. Not minding the little 2010s leopard top and the skirt. I'm sure some of you are probably going to look at this top and think that looks so cheap, and you are correct, like this is a really cheap top, but it's all in the styling and it brings me joy. Like, obviously you could just repeat this, fine. Let me try it with the little black boots, let's see if you can do that. I personally struggle with ankle boots and a skirt because I'm so short. I quite like that, that is a different combo and it quite almost, yeah, no, that works, I think. The handbag, let me tilt the camera and you can tell me what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching this little vlog of Amsterdam, what I wore and what I packed. I hope you like the outfits, but mostly I hope that you learned something about how to pair different pieces together, how to choose things that are going to be really flexible and fluid and work together. Hopefully you learned some tips about packing neutrals, packing variations that are varied in colour and style, and wearing things that are you and not feeling like you have to buy new stuff just because you're going away. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you've enjoyed this video, I really think you will enjoy my video on the 101 of patterns, which I made last week. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.